All right, well, let's get started. It's already 12:15. So this is my Google Calendar. I use it for my small groups. I use it to share with my students. So this is the calendar that they see when they log in. They see what time is reading, what time is writing, what time their breaks are, what time math is. So they get to see it all, their lunchtime. So I'm gonna walk you through how you can create a schedule like this to share with your students. And on their computers, if they have calendar open, it will notify them of the times. You can set notification maybe 5 minutes before so that they're ready and they're joining your meetings at those times. I also use this for my small groups. This week we didn't have small groups, but the week before we had our small groups. Oh, it's not showing. I think they come off, but I also, oh, right here. So you can see here where I select certain students and then I share that time with them and they're able to be reminded of joining me in their Google Meets or in their Zoom, whichever platform that you use. Okay, so I'll get started with sharing the calendar with your students, maybe a schedule. So let me go ahead, and on the side here, you have all your different calendars. You can unselect them and they go away. The one I use the most is our Google Classroom, which is this one, Miss Sandoval's 5th grade. That's my Google Classroom, which is why all my students are able to see them at that time. So I'll unclick it so it doesn't look too cluttered. And you just start with clicking on the calendar and then it opens your option. So let's say you have your morning meeting. Make sure you have your times there, 9 o'clock to 9:20. Give me 1 second. Okay, there, 9 o'clock to 9:20. Does it repeat? That's the awesome thing. If it repeats every day, then you don't want to create one for every day. So here I create maybe daily, or maybe it's every day except Wednesday. So then you'll custom make it. So let's say it's daily. Or not daily, because you don't want to include Saturday and Sunday. So every weekday, Monday through Friday. If you want to add a certain Google Meet, it'll create a Google Meet for you. But in this case, I don't want to create a Google Meet because they already have a Google Meets that they join me in. So down here, I have to make sure it's asking which calendar do you want to share with. So this is where you will find your Google Classroom. So mine again is Miss Sandoval's 5th grade. I want to select that so it shares with all my students in my Google Classroom. You can pick the color. And then after picking the color, you can add a description if you need to add a description. Do you need to share a file? It allows you to share links on here. I just leave it like that. I just want them to have the time and a notification. So it also here, the little bell, that's where you add your notification. So I always, maybe about 2 minutes before or 5 minutes before, you want them to know, hey, join me for morning meeting, and then you save it. And so you can create your whole schedule that way. And so my Google Classroom, again, my whole calendar appears. So that's why you see all of it here. Any questions about that? So the most important thing is and then if you need to go back and edit, you just click on it, click on the pencil, and it goes back to it so that you can edit something. Maybe you want to custom, and then custom lets you pick, when do you want this meeting to end? Do you want it to end certain day, or at the end of the year, or next week, or never? So those are the dates. I think that's it with here. Okay. And then if you no longer want it, you can just click on it and delete it. And then I want to delete either only today. So sometimes, let's say I have reading, but then something happens in our schedule, we're doing testing instead. So I'll delete the reading, and instead of deleting the whole reoccurring event, I just click on this event. I want this event only for today to get deleted. Or maybe you want the whole events, the reoccurring, to delete. And so you click this and following events, and then it deletes. So then so that's how I create my calendar with my students. If I want to do small groups, let me unclick here. Okay, let's say I'm creating a small group, same way. So small groups, and then the difference is that you're not going to select a Google Classroom. You're going to add their name here. So as I type my student's name, they start to appear. So I type, let's say I have Max in my group. So I put their name. Let's see, Griver. So whoever's in your group, then you can add their name and it's going to add it to their calendar. If you want to create a special Google Meets, again, you just click here and it will add that special Google Meets for them. For my students, they just join my regular Google Meets classroom with their code. So I didn't add the Google Meets. You can add again a notification. You know, I want them to remember, hey, 5 minutes before your small group, I need you to come to my small group. I also color coded. So my first group, one color, my second group is another color. So every group is a different color so I can see it on my calendar. And once you're done here, then you just save it. And then once you save, I'm not going to save it because I don't need to send them a reminder. It will show up on your calendar. On my case, it's my Miss Sandoval's calendar. Again, I don't want it in Google Classroom calendar because I don't want everyone to see all the groups. I only want certain students to see the calendar. I can't see the chat box, so let me check. How does it alert students? It pops up on their screen. It's like a little window at the bottom. It'll pop up and it'll say, hey, reading in 5 minutes, and it'll beep too. So if they have their sound on, it'll beep on them. So I always remind them, please have your calendars open, because even to now, I still get questions. Well, what time is writing? Or do we have ELD today? And so I always say, go to your calendar. I take a long time to create this calendar, so please go to your calendars. Um, so that's for a whole group. I have my small groups. Down here, you can also see that I created some different groups, and these groups are for when I do my breakout rooms. And that's like a whole nother one though. Basically, it's just I created a reoccurring event that it happens every day, and each one has their own meeting. And so when I'm ready to open my breakout rooms, then I open all of these 4 or 5 meetings at the same time, and then students know which groups to go to. But I have it always open in case, during reading or writing, whenever I need to do my breakout rooms, because I use Google Meet, so I don't have like Zoom. Zoom has breakout rooms. Anything else I'm forgetting? Oh, here, another important thing is your view. So if you want to do by week, I love week because I can see it at a glance, or you can do by day or the schedule. Students like to do the schedule because then it kind of guides them throughout their day. What time is morning, independent work, our zoo field trip. So it all depends on your option. So this is another viewing option, day, week, or the month. And I stick to my week schedule. Let's see. Another thing, you can use these calendars. Let me take off these calendars. You can use these calendars to collaborate with your team. Let's say that you want to schedule, what are we doing for reading? What are we doing for math? And you're calendaring it. I know a lot of teachers calendar in their Google Docs or in the Google Slides. Google Calendar is also another way. And you can create a new calendar. So if you go down here, you have other calendars and there's a plus sign that allows you to add a new calendar. So you add a new calendar, create it, you add the name. Let's say this is my reading units of study. And it allows you to share with your team so they can also add to the calendar and you can see it at a glance. Create calendar. Okay, see chat box. Okay, so when I do my small groups in different Google Meets, there's an extension. There's an extension that allows me to mute all the tabs. Because yes, you have like 5 tabs open, so you're gonna hear all the rooms. So I mute the tabs, I mute myself, I turn off my video for every room until I need to go into that room. So I think the extension is here. This is the one I have, and it's just called Mute Tab Extension. All right, so creating your new calendar. Did I create reading units of study? Create my calendar, and then it creates it, and then I can walk. Oh, where did it go? Okay, oh, sorry, it's right here. So it's already here, the reading units of study. And then I can walk you through some of the options here. So make it available for South Bay. You can get the shareable link. Here is where you want to add people. So let's say I want to add my team. So Teresa Oakley, and then I want to, what kind of permissions do I want to give her? I want her to make changes. I want her to make changes and maybe share. I want to give her all the rights. So then I'm just going to send it to her, and then she will see it under shared with me because I created it. And when I share it with her, she will see it under shared with me calendar. Let's see. So those are the most important parts, sharing it with your team and then getting the link if you need to share it with them. Say, hey, here's the link directly to our calendar. So then I can go back out to my calendar and it's down. Oh, I actually didn't create it too. So you can always click on it and then just delete it. So let's just go on one of them. And then the same way that you create how I showed you to create an event for your students, you create it for reading. So let's say today we're going to do lesson 1, okay, 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock. It's not going to repeat because it's just that day. Do you want to add attachments? So if there's anything that needs to go with that, like your Google Slides or a document, anything you can add to it. I always double check that it's on the correct calendar. So this one's the reading units of study. And then once it's ready, then I just click save. And my team will be able to see, hey, Monday we do lesson 1, Tuesday we'll do lesson 3, lesson 4. And because I shared it with them, they're able to also help me calendar it out. I think those are the most important things I wanted to hit upon because we don't have too much time. So I'll start taking some questions or any part you would like me to repeat, go over. I think those are the most important parts. And you can always click and unclick to see the calendars that you need, to bring back your Google Classroom calendar. And Google Classroom also puts the assignments on their calendar. And students, I always teach students to open their calendar by going to the waffle dots when they open Google, and then they go to calendar here, and then it takes them to their calendar here. Because I think if they go through Google Classroom, it looks a little bit different. And then they're able to keep it open so they can get their notifications of their times.
Nancy, it's Gloria over here, Morales. When you schedule your kids, you're scheduling through the Google Classroom calendar, right? It's not like a personal classroom with their class emails, their school emails, or anything like that.
Yeah, it's just through Google Classroom. So it will tell you, do you want to email them and notify them? If you do, they won't get it anyways. But just by going to their calendar, like the waffle dots, they click on calendar, they will see their events. Uh-huh.
Okay.
So, yeah.
In middle school, they have access to their email. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, no.
I did it for like the LPAC. For them, when they were testing the LPAC, I made like individual appointments for each of them to remember to sign in for their LPAC, but I haven't done it like this for small groups yet. So yeah, that's a good idea. Thank you.
And yeah, small groups, because I was always like trying to like teach the class, go on Go Guardian, and reminding students, hey, it's your group time. Next group, okay, it's your group time. So I was constantly reminding them. So now I just have to remind them to keep their calendars open so that when it's their group time, they know what time and they can go to their groups. Let's see. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Any questions? If not, thank you for joining me. I'll be here till 12:35 to our next session.
Thanks, Nancy.
Of course, you're welcome. And then I have a lot of calendars here, so you can always go back. I know I created some dummy ones, so you can always go back and click on settings, and then let's see, I think at the very bottom, delete, permanent delete.
Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you, Nancy, for answering my questions.
Of course, you're welcome.
Because I do the meets too, because Zoom is so glitchy. And so when I
Yes.
have them all open, I'm like, oh my gosh. And if they're all talking with each other,
Uh-huh.
which is great, I'm like, oh my gosh, that noise. Oh my
And
God,
and I yeah, so I
so
love
hard.
them.
I'm like, how do I mute this?
Yeah, the
Okay.
mute tab is perfect because it mutes
Yeah.
that tab, and then
Yeah.
you can go to another room and unmute it, and
Yes.
then
Okay.
I always remember to mute myself in the Google
Yeah,
Meets
I
and
do
turn off
too.
my video, because if they see me talking, they'll be like, Miss Sandoval, you're mute.
Yes, you're muted. Yes.
So I turn off my video, and that helps them remember, like, I'm not in the room, I'm in a different room.
Okay.
And it also allows me to unmute, and I'm able to hear them, but they don't know I'm there because my video
Yeah.
is off.
Yeah. Got it. So, so do you create that link with your small groups as well?
Yes.
You did that too, right? You just did a Google Meet like nickname,
So I
right?
did,
Okay.
here I have my group 1, group 2, group 3,
Mm-hmm.
and they all have their own Google Meets.
Google Meets. Okay.
And then a trick that I found, because I don't want to click on each one by one and then
Yeah.
join. So what I did is I opened it the first time, all of them, and I saved them. I bookmarked them. So when I bookmark them,
Okay.
I don't know if you can see, does it open my
Yeah.
bookmarks? Okay.
Yes.
Yes. So in my bookmarks, I have everything here in my bookmarks. Here, so I have a special folder for my Google Meets, and I bookmark them
Oh,
all. So then here, your bookmarks gives you an option to click 2 fingers, and then you open all of them in a new window.
oh, how nice.
So then,
Okay.
so then you don't have to click one by one to
Yes, because
open.
that's what I do.
And then after I open them all, I'm able to go into them and
Okay.
let them in.
Okay. Wow, because I have them on different classrooms I created for their little groups. So okay,
Yeah.
no, that definitely shortcuts
Es-
help.
Especially during ELD, like I
Oh
constantly
my
have them
gosh.
sharing and communicating. They need it, and they
Mhm.
love it. They ask for it. Like, can we go
Uh-huh.
to our groups? I was like,
Yep.
just don't get lost, because some of them get lost. I'm like, I
Yes.
want to see you in your Google Meets.
That's good. Another quick question. Do you schedule your actual lesson plans like with your team on the Google Calendar, or do you have a different template for that? I'm just curious.
We don't use Google Calendar for our template. We like to use
Okay.
Google Docs,
Okay,
because
so do
we
we.
use
Okay.
it yearly, so that works with us. But
Okay. We do that
uh,
too. I just wondering if there's a
yeah.
way that you do that, and so you just click on it and have all your information there. I'm just curious.
And because
Okay.
the reason why we don't use Google Calendar is because you can't use it the next year. So it's
Yeah,
really
yeah,
hard to, like, okay, so we planned it this year, okay, but now we have to replan it next year
yeah.
and reschedule it. So it doesn't
Yes.
really work for us, but I
Okay.
wanted to present it as an option.
Okay. Got it. Okay.